Hi friends, welcome to Concept Classes. This is Mayur Shah here. So, in the previous class of bank reconciliation statement, we had understood what exactly you mean by bank reconciliation statement. What exactly is a bank reconciliation statement? It is nothing but we are preparing a statement just to reconcile the differences between the balance as per the cash book and the balance as per the passbook. If you have a cash book and a passbook and a passbook, understand the major difference over here. Cash book is a book which is being maintained by the organization or the business, okay, and passbook is the book which is being maintained by the banks, okay. Banks maintain the passbook. So can we change the passbook balances? No, we cannot change the passbook balance. But can we really change the cash book balances? Yes, we can do that. Okay. Now one more thing. Understand one thing, that when I'm saying you cash book, we are when cash book is being told, we are referring to the bank column. We are referring to the bank column of the cash book. Okay. Now remember we had done the double column cash book in double column cash book in the subsidiary books chapter. Yeah. In the same way over here, out of the cash book, we are talking about the bank column. We are not considering the cash column. We have got nothing to do over here with the cash column. We only and only are concentrating on the bank column. So there might be certain entries which are recorded in the bank column but which are not recorded in the passbook. Okay. And then the other way, there are some entries which are recorded in the passbook by the bank but which have not been, either by because of some error or because of some time difference. Time difference means we there is some time gap, as we had discussed in the previous class. There is some time gap because of which the transaction has been not yet recorded in the cash book. Okay. Now we will understand the causes, the reasons why the bank reconciliation statement, why the reconciliation statement is made, what are the reasons which lead to a difference in the cash book and the passbook. Okay guys, just try to understand over here. Now I'll be explaining you the reasons over here. There are two majorly, you can say there are two reasons. Okay, there are two main reasons. Reason number one, you can say as time difference. As we had done in the previous lecture also, if you could just go through the previous recording where we had taken an example over here of the time difference, wherein we are receiving a check from one of the person but the check is yet not been received with us. Okay, because the check is not yet received, we have not incorporated the entry in our books of accounts. That is called as a timing difference. Check is issued. Okay, for example, I have cash book, okay, and I have a passbook. Okay, in cash book and a passbook, what will happen is I have issued a check to some party. Okay, my cash book balance was 5 lakhs and my passbook balance was also 5 lakhs. After this, what happened was, on a particular day I issued a check. Okay, I issued a check to one of my clients. Okay, and the check was amounting to, for example, let's say 20,000 rupees. Okay, so I have issued a check of 20,000 rupees. That 20,000 I have deducted from my cash book. I have reduced that 20,000 from my cash book and I bought this balance to 4,80,000. But at the same time, that check has not been cleared by the bank. The check normally takes, like, the check will go to my client, then my client will deposit the check in his account. Everything will happen. So it might take maybe around 2 or 3 days. The creditor might deposit the check and the check might get cleared. It might take 2 or 3 days. So that time difference, the time gap, what is there? Because of which the passbook balance will not tally. Here the check has not been reflected. So this balance will yet show as 5 lakhs. Okay, so this difference is called as the timing difference, the time difference. This is not some error, this is not even an omission, but this is the time difference, because after maybe 3 days or 4 days the check will come in the passbook, the check will get reflected in the bank statement and the amount will be debited from my passbook also. Okay guys, so this is called as my time difference. Okay, and the other is majorly due to the errors that will come to ahead. Like ahead, when we see, first let's understand what is time difference, then we'll understand what is the errors. Okay, now under time difference, understand one thing. there are majorly two ways. For example, let's say type number 1 is where the entry has been recorded in the cash book but not been recorded in the passbook. Okay, the transaction has been recorded in cash book but does not appear in passbook. Please understand this statement what I have written over here right now. Read it properly. Transaction has been recorded in my cash book. Okay, in the cash book I have recorded the transaction, but that particular transaction is not appearing in my passbook. Okay, if it is not appearing in my passbook, that means this transaction has been recorded by me. Only the thing is that the transaction bank is not yet recorded. Why can that be? Either number one, because I have issued a check, okay, or else I have received a check to be deposited but yet not deposited. Okay, these are the two instances. So we'll note down those two instances. Number one is I have issued a check but not yet presented by the customer, or you can say the creditor. Okay, this is the main first reason. Number two, okay, what is the second cause? What will be the reason? The second is check. Choose them. Check deposited but not collected. What is the second one? I received a check. I deposited into my bank account, but it usually takes 2 days for the check to be cleared. So those 2 days is the time difference. Within that 2 days, that check will be credited in my cash book, but in my passbook, I have yet not. Okay, in my cash book, I have already debited my cash account, but my passbook it has not yet been credited. So that is the second cause. Check deposited but not collected. Okay, guys. Now part B. This is what we did was transactions. They have been recorded in the cash book, but they don't appear in the passbook. Now let us do it the other way. Transaction has been recorded in my passbook, but does not appear in cash book. Okay, friends. It has been recorded in the passbook, but we have yet not recorded the transaction in the cash book. When will this happen? This is majorly when the bank has recorded the transaction, but we haven't yet recorded the transaction. Okay, when bank has recorded, but we haven't yet recorded the transaction. Let us go one by one. Let us see the reasons what can be happening over here. Number one, let's say interest credited by bank. Let's say the bank has given us a quarterly interest in our account. Okay, let's say on the for the quarter ended April, May and June, on the 30th of June, you can say, or on the 1st of July, the bank has credited the interest in my account, but I never received the message for that. Neither I knew that the bank, like the interest has been credited by the bank. So what will happen? My bank balance will increase, but will my cash book increase? No, because till the time I don't update my passbook or I don't receive the bank statement, I will not even get to know whether the interest has been credited in my bank account or no. That is called as the transaction recorded in the passbook, but it is not appearing in my cash book. That is the reason There is a cause because of which there will be a difference in the balance as per the cash book and passbook. Okay guys. Number 2, direct collection of income on behalf of customer. Okay. Bank, they have directly received the income from my customer and that has been deposited into my bank account. This is the case over here. Now what is happening, understand, this is my passbook, this is my cash book. Customer came, and or else we had given the instructions to our customer to directly deposit the money in my bank account. Okay, what the customer did was he directly went to my bank account, he issued the, I mean, he made one check, and with my account number and everything he deposited the money into my account over here. So what happened, my passbook balance increased. Okay, but my cash book balance was yet the same. This did not increase. Okay, because I did not know about this transaction. This is leading to a difference in the cash book and the passbook balances. Okay, these are some of the common reasons, you can say, which normally day to day keep on happening, because of which there are the differences in the cash book and passbook. Okay, and you also have direct payment of expense by the bank. Bank has directly paid some of the expenses from our account on our behalf. Okay, maybe we have given them the instructions. You can say, let's say example, you have your EMIs or your SIP investments in mutual funds, etc. Okay, you have certain EMI for your car or your home loan or something which is being auto debited from your account. You have certain SIPs, that is systematic investment plans, into some mutual funds wherein the money automatically gets debited from your account every month, maybe on a particular 7th or the 10th of every month the money is being debited from your account. These are the transactions which are being directly made by the bank. We don't even get to know that the money has been debited until and unless we don't update our passbook. So those balances will reduce my balance as per the passbook. Will that be reflecting in my cash book? No. Till the time I don't update my passbook, those transactions will not be reflecting in my cash book. So that will lead to the difference. Okay. Next, you have your bank charges, or you can say your overdraft account interest. You have taken some bank OD from the bank. You have availed some overdraft, and the interest which gets debited every month. Okay, so that interest gets debited automatically by the bank. So that is being charged by the bank. Charged by bank. Okay, so these are some of the expenses that are being charged by the bank, directly being debited by them. Okay, these are a few reasons because of which the balance might get affected. There will be a difference. There will be, these are the causes, you can say, because of which the balances will be differing, as the balance as per the cash book and the balance as per the passbook, it will differ. Okay, and last you can say amount directly deposited in bank account. Okay, there was a vendor who to whom we had sold some goods. He directly came and he deposited some cash into my account. Okay, so that amount which is directly deposited into the bank account will get reflected in the passbook, but till the time I don't get my bank statement, I'll not even get to know whether that money has come in my account or not. So that will really lead to a difference in the balance as per my cash book and my balance as per the passbook. Okay, these are a few main reasons. Okay, these are known as my time differences. Guys, understand very thoroughly. These are my time differences. These are not at all any kind of errors. Over here, no error has happened from our end, that is the cash book, and from the bank's end, that is from the passbook end. Okay, no error has happened. Now, in the second type over here, we will understand the reasons, or you can say the causes. Okay, because of which you can say as the errors or omissions. Okay, number one was a time difference, because of which we need to make a bank reconciliation statement, and the number two is errors or omissions. Or omissions. Okay, errors or omissions. Under errors or omissions, what do you mean by errors or omissions? See guys, there are some times when, let's say I received a check, but I completely forgot to make the entry in my cash book, and I deposited the check into my bank account. Okay, my bank balance increased, but did my cash balance get affected? I mean, the cash book get affected? No, because I failed to record the transaction in my books of accounts. Okay, so that is the error, you can say. That is an error, or you can say it's an omission which has completely happened. A complete omission or a partial omission is there. This is known as a partial omission. A partial omission of a transaction which has happened over here. Okay, so let's say for example, number one, you have recorded a wrong amount. Recording a wrong amount. Okay, let's say you received a check of rupees 25,000, but in your cash book you recorded a check as 2,500 only. Okay, this is a recording of wrong amount. This is an error. Okay, or else let's say the bank had actually received an auto debit of 40,000, but bank debited only 4,000 from the account. That is known as recording a wrong amount. Okay guys, then you can also have double recording. What do you mean by double recording? You received a check of 25,000, you recorded in your cash book, but at the same time when the check went to your accountant, he also recorded again the same amount of check of 25,000. So this is twice, this has been recorded twice into your books of accounts, which is an error. Okay, so this will also be leading to a difference in your balance as per the cash book and passbook. Okay, then you have omission, a complete omission of transaction. You have completely forgot to record the transaction in your books. Okay, neither you recorded nor your accountant, both of you didn't record, and the check clearly went through your bank account. Okay, so that is known as omission of a transaction. Okay, and then you have recording on wrong side. Okay, what does this mean? Let's say you have made a payment of salary. What is an entry for payment of salary? Salary account debit to to bank account. Okay, what should we do when we are preparing our ledger? Okay, in the bank account, I will write here to salary, whatever is the amount. Okay, what I have done is, instead of writing to salary, mistakenly I have written, sorry, instead of writing by salary over here, sorry, by salary account, I have written here as to salary account mistakenly. Over here I have written this on the wrong side. Instead of writing this, I didn't write this only, I wrote bank account debit. Okay, so this is a recording on the wrong side. Instead of credit, I have recorded it on the debit side. Okay, these are major reasons why there will be a difference in the balance as per the cash book and the balance as per the passbook. Major reasons, you need to understand these reasons very thoroughly. You please understand one thing, understand the reasons, Just don't try to learn or try to just mug up the reasons that no, if it is the default by the passbook, then I have to add, or if it is the default as per the cash book, so I have to reduce the balance or I have to subtract. Don't do that. Don't ever do that, because exams will goof you up. They will purposely twist the sum in such a way that you make that kind of a mistake. Example I'll give you. Just take one example. Okay. For example, you have issued a check of rupees 25,000 but not recorded by bank. Okay. What has happened? I have issued a check, but the bank has yet not recorded in their bank accounts. Correct? Means the check is issued, but the check is yet not being cleared. Maybe that the check is not yet cleared, that is why the check is not recorded by the bank as yet. Okay. Now let's say I had prior to this, my balances were my cash book and my passbook had a balance of, let's say, 5 lakhs. Okay. Now what will happen? Understand one thing. If I start with, let's say, my balance as per cash book. What is the balance as per cash book? 5 lakhs. Okay. What will I do? I have issued a check. So what has happened? I have reduced from here, correct? Check issued. This I have already done, and this balance has come to, I deducted in 4,75,000. My balance was already 4,75,000 as per the cash book, but in if I see my passbook, the balance was 5 lakhs. Okay, nothing was coming over here, and my balance was reflecting as 5 lakhs only. This was the difference. When the sum states that start with balance as per the passbook. Okay, now here comes the major crunch. If the sum says that you have to start with balance as per passbook, what will you do? Yeah, now balance as per passbook is how much? 5 lakhs. Now tell me one thing, what has happened? Check is issued but yet not cleared from the bank. Okay, so here what we will do? Less check issued but not yet cleared, which is 25,000. We'll get 4,75,000. This is nothing but your balance as per cash book, which is this 4,75,000. But now if the sum specifies that you have to start with balance as per the cash book, then what will happen? You have balance as per cash book 4,75,000. Now you will add back the check, because in the passbook the transaction of 25,000 has yet not been recorded. So this 25,000 which you have already recorded in your cash book, you will now add back this 25,000 over here. Okay, add check issued but not yet cleared of 25,000. So you will get 5 lakhs. This is nothing but your balance as per passbook. Any doubts over here? Have you all understood this properly? So what I mean to say you is, don't ever just go and learn that if it is a check issued, then what I will add or I will minus or I will subtract. Don't ever learn in that way. Understand what transaction has been given to you, because depending upon the question what has been asked to you, the solution might differ. The solution might completely change. So just don't go by the way of question which has been asked to you and you just see the particular transaction and you might directly add or less, which will be taught to you at lot of places. Okay, maybe the colleges will directly teach you that there is a certain method which you have to follow. If the balance is given as per the cash book, and you add and you minus and you add you minus, no, don't ever do that, because in the short term you will be able to understand and you will learn that method. But when it comes to long term, because this is one of the chapter which will be used by you in your practical life, whenever you will be working as an accountant or you will be working in your own business, you will be using bank reconciliation statement in your day-to-day life. Okay guys, don't ever learn or mug up any kind of a transaction. If you have any doubts, just drop me a message or just drop me a text that you have doubt in understanding any particular transaction, or else after class just meet me and ask me what will be the solution for any of the transactions over here. Please understand those transactions, don't ever mug up. Okay, no problem. If you, even if you have, for even for the YouTube lectures, if you all have any doubts over here, please drop in any of your doubts into the comment section. I will surely and definitely reply back to your doubts, whatever doubts you'll have. But this chapter, please, it's a request, don't ever mug up. Just try to understand why we are adding back, why we are subtracting that particular amount. Understand the transaction. If you all want in depth, you all just give me the details, we'll just connect through Zoom, I'll explain you this entire chapter. It will be really very easy for you to remember this chapter for lifetime. This is one of the very important chapters, and it is a very scoring chapter also. But marks comes secondary. Primary thing for us is to understand the concept. Accounts is something what you are doing for the first time in your life, and for especially for the commerce students, accounts is going to last forever. Accounts, you all have to be in and out. You need to understand accounts. Accounts is not a subject which can be mugged up, just has to be remembered for FIDC and SYDC and then you forget accounts. No, it will never ever be possible to do it in that way. Please try to learn and understand accounts. Okay guys, understand it. Okay, thank you. Thanks for the class.